Hello and welcome, everyone. I am back from the desert and I'm excited to be here with you today. Take the hair down like we're actually hanging out. Awesome. Okay, so then we go live and boom, now we are actually live on Facebook as well. So today is a fun day. We're going to be nerding out on email, right? Email is super crucial, right? We want to be able to make sure that we're boosting our email engagement. We want to make sure our messages are landing in the inbox, right? So we need to make sure we optimize our DNS settings. That's our DMARC and SPF. We want to use tagging to track engagement. All of this is important because if we're sending out emails, but then nobody is actually reading them, what's the point in sending that email, right? Much like one of the big things we do is we're going to be emailing out the permalinks to our audience to drive them to specific content so that they're seeing what we want them to see because, Mr. Algorithm is not going to do us any favors. So it's important that if we're going through the effort to email our audience direct permalinks to drive engagement, we want to make sure that they're actually getting our emails, right? Right. So as per usual, if you would like the workbook and additional training on this, comment, email, and we will get that on over to you. All right, and let me actually add that on here. Let's comment, email for the workbook. All right, cool. We're going to add this. Look, oh, no, not that one. We want this. Comment, email for the workbook. Work. Boom. There we go. Okay, cool. So now that that's going, okay, we're going to cover all things email engagement and deliverability because let's be real. If your emails aren't getting delivered, you're missing out on a major opportunity to engage with your audience. I know a lot of people say email is dead. It will never be dead. Email is powerful. So we're going to be covering everything you need to know to get more eyes on your emails, from the importance of subject lines to advanced tips like DMARC and SPF settings, how to track email engagement, how to automate your follow-up stats based on email behavior. So grab a coffee and let's get into it. First off, subject lines, right? Who has gotten an email where it's like, meh, it's like, newsletter 101, February newsletter, right? That's not really exciting, right? And depending upon who the sender is, I may just be like, meh, it's just like a newsletter. I don't really it doesn't really drive, right? Your subject line is the first impression you make in the inbox. Oh, thank gosh for the mute button. So your subject line is your first impression to make it in the inbox. So it's got to stand out. A good subject line should be clear, compelling, and make the reader curious. Keep it short, but make it powerful. You want to be able to stop the scroll, spark interest, and get them to click. If you've got a weak subject line, there's even more beautifully crafted email is going to get ignored. Example, instead of our newest course is here, try something like ready to skyrocket your results. It's engaging, creates curiosity, and speaks directly what the reader wants. Now, what's super cool is that you can include different things like a custom value. Like you could say, Sally, are you ready to skyrocket your results? Because now you're speaking directly to them. You're leveraging their name and creating that personalized communication. Give me 1 second. That is one thing I do not miss about being back home is the allergies, y'all. So Let's talk about that preview line, right? That little snippet of text next to your subject line in the inbox. It's like a mini ad for your email. So you don't want to waste space with filler like view this in your browser. Make it another opportunity to draw them in. Complement the subject line with more details or tease what's inside the email, right? Because you got to realize how many people are inbox zero. Besides me, not many, right? So there's lots of people who deal with massive inboxes, right? That they could have 40, 50, 100 plus emails in their inbox. So you got to do what you need to do to stand out and make sure, stand out. Now that's all I want to hear. I just want to hear the stand out track from Goofy Movie because you want to stand out and making sure you're seeing eye to eye with your audience. Oh God, I'm such a nerd. But it's crucial, right? Like if that stuff is not speaking to them, they're not going to open it. All right. So next, let's dive into your DNS settings, right? If you are hanging out with the Nerdly crew and do our VIP setup or our wireframe and custom build, we do all this for you. However, if you're a DIYer out there, let's nerd out and talk a little tech talk. So I know it sounds like a lot, but your DMARC and SPF settings are essential for making sure your emails are actually getting delivered. DMARC, domain-based message authentication, right? So this is saying that you are authorizing this domain to send emails, right? Domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance, right? That's what DMARC stands for. SPF is your sender policy framework. They're basically email bodyguards, verifying that your emails are coming from a legitimate source. Without these emails in place, your emails are way more likely to end up in spam. Not to mention, without these, other people can spoof your emails, and there's all sorts of shenanigans that could be happening, right? So that's why the Yahoo stuff happened the other year is a way to cut down on spam. So trust me, setting these up could be the difference between your email getting into the inbox or disappearing into the void. If you're not familiar with these, you need help, no matter what high-level agency or whatever platform you're on, make sure you reach out to us. We can definitely make sure you are set up for that. Speaking of deliverability, you must make sure your email domains match. If you're sending emails from yourname@gmail.com, but the links inside are from a different domain, it can look shady to both inboxes and recipients. Keep it consistent. Your email, the links, and your domain should all align. Now, some unofficial rule changes are that your sending domain must match your email server domain, which makes a little bit more work for us because we did have everyone on Nerdly Mail. However, this also ensures better deliverability. Additionally, you should not be sending from yourname@gmail.com, right? You should not be sending from a gmail.com, a yahoo.com, because you do not own those domains, right? You own whatever yourbusiness.com is, right? Like we own nerdly.io. So our emails come from Colleen@nerdly.io or support@nerdly.io. And all of our domains all of our links inside the emails are going to be on the nerdly.io domain, right? It is all about your brand presence as well. It is also making sure that you look professional and that you're matching with what you say you're going to be sending with what you're actually sending, right? Okay. Awesome. Oh, hi, Brandon, Holly, Gina. So good to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, we're totally nerding out on this stuff. All right. So next, we talked about the email domains. Next, email content and links, keeping it clean. All right. Now that we've covered the foundation, let's talk about email content and links. Spam filters love to scan through your emails for red flags, and too many links or spammy looking text can get you in trouble. Keep your email simple, clean, and relevant. You should have one call to action in your email. And now I know a lot of my OG network marketers out there love to send out those monthly newsletters, with 1,000 links in there, that is going to look spammy. Also, if all you're doing is sending out a monthly email newsletter, that is spammy because you're not actually communicating with them. You're doing a blanket message to a lot of people without actually speaking to them. You're kind of speaking at them, right? So if you're sending out a monthly newsletter with like 4 or 5 different things in there, consider breaking it out into a weekly update, right? And avoiding using too many images. Oh my gosh, images will tank it because it's such a heavy email, and salesy language can set off spam alerts. So like free, a lot of free in all caps and bolded will also likely trigger the spam filters, right? So you got to think about all of these guys, right? Whether it's email, text message, Meta, any of them, what they're looking for is that you're having a conversation with your audience, right? They want to know that you're sending something that's being received, read, and ideally you want them to respond, right? Whether it's through clicks, opens, replies, right? And they want to know that what you're sending isn't just going there and doing nothing, right? So let's switch gears a little bit, right? Let's talk about tracking your emails and understanding who's really paying attention. With tools like Group Track and High Level or Nerdly, you can tag and track your email open rates, clicks, and even replies. So if you're Nerdly and you don't have our email engagement situation, make sure you reach out to a nerd herder and ask about that. We don't just install any stuff on people's accounts, but if you want that, we do have it. This helps you understand who is the most engaged and who may need a little nudge. By tagging your audience based on their activity, you can follow up strategically. Whether they opened every email or haven't clicked a single link, you'll know exactly how to engage with them next time. And what's really cool with that two-way sync on the tags to Group Track, you could be in the DMs with somebody and be like, oh, hey, I see you haven't opened my email in a month. I hope everything is okay, right? So if you know someone, you have a smart list tracking who's opened every 14 days, 30 days, 60 and 90, you can start engaging with the people who have not opened in 90 days, start a DM campaign. Be like, hey, what's going on? How can we serve you? Like, clearly they're not getting the value out of your email. So having a conversation on another platform to be like, hey, like what can we do to help you out? Right? That's going to help really drive your engagement rates and make sure that also that you're getting that feedback from your audience so that you're actually delivering the valuable content and resources that you think or that you're intending to. Because, right, that is what we do all of this for, is we want to help people. Okay. And also you can create smart lists and other automations. And, this way, like the people who've opened every 14 days, these are your hot to trots. That helps you identify more warmer leads, who in your audience is really engaging. Maybe you want to offer a special promo just to them, right? There's all sorts of cool stuff that you can do. All right. Now, here's where we're going to take it to the next level. Automating your email engagement. Using High Level and Group Track, you can set up automations based on how people interact with your emails. Imagine knowing in real time when someone opens an email and having a chatbot follow up with a DM. Now you're engaging directly with them in their inbox and their DMs, creating a seamless conversation. For example, if someone opens multiple emails but hasn't taken action, you can trigger an automation to send a personalized follow-up in their DMs because they're already interested. They just need a little hand to cross the bridge, right? Maybe it's they've opened the email a couple of times and they didn't have their credit card handy, right? And they just need that little reminder like, hey, I've seen you open it up a few times. Did you have any questions, right? Would you need the pay link is sent again, right? All right. Handling bounces with automations, right? Bounced emails are another challenge, but automations can really save the day here too. Let's say an email bounces. A lot of people would de facto just mark it as D&D. However, we here at Nerdly know that people are humans and humans make mistakes sometimes, right? Whether it is a typo or something like that, right? Bouncing, you can set up a workflow that automatically texts the person asking if the email is still valid. If they respond with an updated email, the system will update their contact automatically. How cool is that? And just to make sure everything is working smoothly, what we also have is it sends a confirmation email to ensure the email was updated. Email was updated successfully. No manual work to do on your end. And it'll even send a follow-up text saying, we got it. So what does all of this add up to? More opens, more engagement, and a better connection with your audience. By mastering your email subject lines, optimizing your DNS settings, and using tagging and automations to track behavior, you're setting yourself up for inbox success. If you want to dive deeper into email engagement automations, get personalized help implementing these strategies, comment, email below, and I'll send you a special workbook and walk you through different options on how to get further help with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, guys, gals, and everyone in between. I look forward to nerding out with y'all again next week. All right. Later, nerds.